Nothing is real but God. Nothing matters but love for God. God is the only reality. All else that seems real is illusory. God and I are one. Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you to beloved Baba for giving us a fantastic 2020. And I really mean it because every negative aspect in life can make us or mar us. We say that 2020 say some people have gone fat and some people have gone fat. So so it all depends upon how we take it. Yes, it was quite different from the other years. There are so many things which we thought we could not do without without meeting friends, without keeping close contact, without going to bars, without going to pubs, without going for a dance, a picnic, a party. But we survived all this by Baba's grace. And the most important factor, as we say, the feather in the cap was perhaps 2020 was the only year where we had the maximum Baba programs. All the barriers of state, country, continents have been broken, and we all met throughout the year, throughout meaning from March onwards as one family. Back to back problems, back to back problems, and back to back programs. Back to back programs were there in remembrance of Baba, and we are so thankful to Baba for 2020. I hope that we all have learned certain lessons from 2020 and use it for the 2021. Today, of course, our reading is from Meher Baba calling, but I might take up a little time in narrating a story which is a Sufi tale, which is a Sufi story. And why I said that we have to learn the lessons, we have to apply that, we have to internalize that. There was a hunter. I'm sure Kundatai heard me yesterday, so she will have to have a repeat of that story. I was invited yesterday to speak in a certain forum where I narrated this story. That there is something called information. We have an overload of information from every nook and corner. That is jankari, information. Then we cull out, we squeeze all the information and we cull out something which we think is important for us. And that I would call it, of course, this is my interpretation, I would call it knowledge. And people say that knowledge is power. But I usually say that knowledge is not power until it is applied. So we have to apply the knowledge, and that is called wisdom. So this is the story goes, the Sufi tale goes that there was a hunter and he had caught a bird, a small bird, and the bird was pleading and crying and telling the hunter, "Please release me, please let me fly off. If you allow me to fly off, I will give you three extremely important advices to you. I will give you a very deep, profound advices to you." So Hunter thought, okay, I can catch another bird, doesn't matter. So the bird said that when you release me, I will give you the first advice. Then when I'll go to the first branch of a tree, I will give you the second advice. And then I will go to the top of the tree. And then before flying off, I will give you the third advice. So the hunter thought over and said, so what? Okay. So the hunter releases the bird. Now, the moment the bird is released, the bird is giving the first advice that never brood, weep, wail about what has happened in the past. Baba also says the same thing in discourses that irrespective of what you may have done or what you may not have done, do not delve continuously into that. Yes, You need to do pasyatab. You need to ask for forgiveness. You need to be remorseful of what you have done in the past, but do not be involved and ingrained in that all the time. Just don't repeat it again. So now once you are in that remorseful mode, do it once, outwit it, do not think about it. Whatever we may have gone through in life, including what some of us may have gone through, very terrible times in 2020, just forget about it and move on. So that was the first advice that the bird gave the hunter, that do not dwell upon the mistakes and the shortcomings of the past, weaknesses of the past. The hunter was very happy about it. Then the bird flew off a little higher on the branch and said, my second advice to you is, do not take for granted anything that anybody says about anyone or anything. In other words, do not take the other's word for granted unless and until you yourself have that experience. So you must have the first hand experience of that thing, of that person, before making an opinion about such a thing. Baba says the same thing, that do not sit on the judgment seat, do not backbite, do not slander, do not form opinions about others based on what somebody else is saying to you. So that was the second advice that the bird gave the hunter. And simultaneously, the bird then said, that to the hunter, that you are such a stupid person, you are such a fool, that I had two very precious jewels in my stomach, in me. Had you killed me, you would have found those precious jewels and you would have been mala mal. You would have been so rich that you don't have to work for the rest of your life. You would have been really absolutely rich. And the moment the hunter heard this, he went into a rage. He started beating himself up, not beating physically, but internally. What have I done? What a fool I am. I shouldn't have released the bird. I should have killed the bird, and blah, blah, and on and on and on went on going like that. And then the bird flew to the top of the tree and kept quiet. And the hunter was on and on about raging within himself. And then, after a little while, the hunter looks up at the bird and says, now, what is your third advice? So the bird says, what is the point in giving you the third advice when you have not followed my first two advices? One was not to brood much over what has happened in the past, and the second is never to believe whatever anybody else says. These two advices you have not followed, and you are only in the urge of knowing more and more things, but not applying it to your life. That is exactly what we started with, that we keep on amassing information. We even cull out the knowledge out of it, but we do not apply that in our day to day living. So, yesterday, when I was speaking on the 1st of January, I said, let 2021, I said, let us resolve to put into practice that little bit of so called spiritual knowledge that we have, so that it opens up a fresh light on the next step, and then the next, and then the next, and not just keep on gathering all the information and not putting it into practice. So that was, I said the third one, same. What third one was, that you are so utsuk, you are so eager to. Okay, the way I put it yesterday was, we are running from one program to another program to third program to fourth program, Meher Baba's program, of course, and no doubt there's nothing wrong in it. But are we taking something from it? Are we gaining something from each and every program? Are we applying that in our day to day life? The example that I gave yesterday was Baba's example about a steam escaping through the channel of a whistle, and Baba in the steam engine. And Baba said that no amount of whistling is ever going to move the train 1 inch further. What is important is that same steam, which is considered as the spiritual knowledge, that same steam has to be channelized into the engine. Only then the train would move forward. So we gather a lot of information, but are we applying that in our day to day life? So let us resolve that we internalize what we get to learn through all these forums, all these sessions, all these Meher Baba programs and meetings, and apply that, internalize it, so that bit by bit, we are becoming a better human being. And most importantly, that we are pleasing Baba in the whole process. Now, sorry, my throat is a little gone. But now again, without before reading this, I came across this very beautiful New Year message given by Mani, Baba's sister Mani, in the year 1961. It is there in the family letters, page 88 to 91. Of course, it's a huge letter, 4 pages. Uh, but it's family letter number 38. I'll be just reading that extract, which is concerning the new life. So Mani writes, Baba's sister Mani writes, Dearest family, Baba greetings to you for the new year. 1961. So this was given in 1962. Another figure to remember, to head one's letter with. We always sign the signature, and many of us will be writing 2020 on our checks and it will bounce. So we need to remember to write 2021. Another step in the march of time nearer towards the manifestation of the timeless one. Another little bend in the long winding road of our journey towards the unwinding of ourselves from the wheel of karma. Another peg to hang new resolutions on, as well as renewed ones from the pile of last year's neglected or frayed promises made to oneself. May the New Year's resolve of those who love Baba be to make no resolutions, for our one and only resolve worth resolving has already been made long ago, to hold on to his Daman throughout till the very end. Let ours, therefore, be rather a prayer that we never waver in that resolution, in that resolve, through calm or storm. And may our ancient one, despite his withdrawing himself into deeper seclusion, hear that prayer. Baba received all the Christmas thoughts and love that poured into Merazad. There was a Christmas lantern we, we put in his room, and its light seemed to reflect the presence of all Baba lovers everywhere. For every heart that burns in his love is as a living Christmas lantern to the living Christ. May our faith in Baba keep it shining the whole year through in the steady flame of love and surrender. Ever lovingly, Mani. As I said, this was from family letter number 38, page number 88 and 91. So, here I wish you all a very happy new year, a very Baba-ful new year, and so that we resolve more and more to become His, to depend on Him and Him alone. And our only sole aim should be to see that we make Meher Baba proud of us, we make Meher Baba happy and pleased with our being in life. Thank you once again. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Now I'll give it over to Soumya to read from Meher Baba Calling. We are doing page number 57.
Be pure in heart. For the purification of your heart, leave your thoughts alone but maintain a constant vigil over your action. When you have thoughts of anger, lust, or greed, do not worry about them and do not try to check them. Let all such thoughts come and go without putting them into action. Try to think counter thoughts in order to discern, discriminate, and to learn, and above all, to undo the actions which are prompted by our own impressions. If people act dishonestly with you and create difficulties for you and deceive you, and yet you remain honest and pure, you are very fortunate, because these deceivers or your so called enemies are your friends. They wash away your sins and weaknesses and make your path clear towards God.
There is a mic open somewhere. Uma's iPhone, please. Thank you. All right. This is chapter number 57. Be pure in heart. We've done this before in very many different ways. And in my understanding, purity would mean less of I, my, me, and mine, less of selfishness and more of selflessness. Baba has said that the journey is from selfishness to selflessness to selfness. Selfishness and selflessness both are in the domain of duality or illusion or dream, whereas selfness is in the domain of reality, advait, oneness, truth, reality, right? So, but the path to that is through selflessness. If you look at any of these so called sins, anger, greed, lust, jealousy, hatred, pride, attachment, envy, whatever you call it, there may be a whole list of it. It only shows that you are indulging in that. When I say you, I also always include myself, that we are indulging it in that activity with the hope that it is going to make me happy. You look at any of these things. You look at anger, you look at greed, you look at jealousy, you look at pride, you look at envy, you look at lust. It is with the ignorant hope and aspiration that it is going to give me joy, give me pleasure, give me comfort, give me convenience, give me what I, my, me, and mine. If we move away from this, then that is the meaning of purity of heart. This is my take on what reading of Baba's words. Baba says, for the purification of your heart, leave your thoughts alone. We all know that there are three bodies and there are three worlds: gross, subtle, mental, sthul, shukshma, mana. Now, most of us in the humanity, they are all in the gross world because they have predominantly more gross samskaras or impressions, gross karmas. And because we are all in the gross world, we have absolute control over the gross actions. We have no control over our feelings, over our, or very minimal control over our feelings, over our emotions, over our thoughts. Correct? Because thoughts, feelings, emotions randomly come and rush and flood our being. And Baba, being Baba, so very considerate, so very understanding, so very mayalu, so very benevolent, kind, tells us, do not bother about your thoughts. But Baba says, for the purification of your thoughts, leave your thoughts alone. He doesn't tell us to control thoughts because he knows that the more you try to control, the more energy you infuse in those thoughts, and those very thoughts become more and more powerful. He asks us to just watch it, as a Sakshi Bhav, we call it as a witness, or try to sublimate those thoughts, channelize those thoughts into positive, affirmative, spiritually matured actions, if at all. But if at all you can't do that much, just leave your thoughts alone. I repeat what Baba says, for the purification of your heart, leave your thoughts alone, but maintain a constant vigil over your action. Why? Because I am responsible for my action. Although the responsibility is there for my feelings, for my emotions, for my thoughts also, and they also to a certain extent accumulate samskaras, but those samskaras are very feeble, very weak, very easy to remove. But gross samskaras, that means samskaras caused through actions, are very gross, very stool, very stubborn, and difficult to eradicate. Because we are in the gross world. Correct. Baba goes on to say, when you have thoughts of anger, lust, or greed, do not worry about them. Most of us get so worried. How can I get such dirty, filthy, vulgar thoughts? The point is, you get it because of your past karma. You have no control over the thoughts. And that is why, in order for us to, let us say, rise above the thoughts, Baba is saying, here Baba says the word, when you have thoughts of anger, lust, or greed, do not worry about them and do not try to check them. Very powerful advice, which, as the bird has given the advice to the hunter, Baba is giving us the advice. We are supposed to put that into practice. Do not worry about them and do not try to check them. Let them, let such thoughts come and go without putting them into action. That is the, the panacea of all ills, in a sense. Action, action, action. We live in the world of action. The moment we are controlling our actions to a very, very, very great extent, we have avoided a whole mountain load of samskaric bondage. Try to think counter thoughts. You think counter. If you are feeling greedy, you think about charity. If you are thinking lustful, you think about love, because they are two different things. If you are thinking envy, jealousy, you think about, uh, you're praising the other person. It may be difficult because you are going against your very nature, your very pattern of thinking. But Baba says, try to think counter thoughts in order to discern, discriminate, and to learn, and above all, to undo the actions which are prompted by your own impression. In other words, all these thoughts, feelings, and even actions are all prompted by our own past impressions. Why is it that somebody gets triggered very fast? Why is it that somebody is envious of something or somebody all the time? Why is it that somebody is always greedy to amass wealth and just capture everybody else's property? It is because of past impressions. And he can't help it. He's a slave. But here Baba is giving us a way out. And Baba has said somewhere in the discourses that the way to cut through the past impressions starts from action. You have to start acting counter to what your feelings are. When you do that, then there is a probability that you are actually unwinding your past. Unwinding is a wrong word, that you are actually diffusing, let's put it that way, your past karma. If people act dishonestly with you and create difficulties for you and deceive you, and yet you remain honest and pure, you are very fortunate. First and foremost, Why would anybody act dishonestly with me? Or why would anybody create difficulties for me? Or why would anybody deceive me and not somebody else, not my neighbor, not my wife, not my mother in law? Why would somebody do that to me and me alone? It is because I deserve that experience. And why do I deserve that experience? I don't desire it, let me tell you, but I deserve it. Why do I deserve that experience? Because I have caused that very same experience to somebody in the past. And therefore, when somebody is deceiving me, when somebody is cheating me, when somebody is creating difficulty for me, he is actually trying, he or she, whosoever it may be, is trying to balance out my past karma by giving me the experience of exactly opposite of the experience that I have given to somebody. Now, he may not be the same ABC, it would be somebody else totally different. But I am getting that experience. And after getting that experience, Baba says, if I continue to remain honest and sincere and do not do a reactive act, then what happens? Baba says, then you are very fortunate. Why are we very fortunate? Because the samskaras which I have created in the past are now nullified, are now experienced, are now zeroed down, zero, balanced out. Why? Because I have not reacted to them. I continued to remain tathast. I continued to remain in a state of equanimity. I continued to remain honest. And therefore, Baba says that then you are, and you remain honest and pure, you are very fortunate because these deceivers of your so or sorry these deceivers or your so-called enemies are your friends. Why they are my friends? Because through them my past samskaras have been negated, have been balanced out, have been evened out, and therefore apparently on the stage of my life, stage meaning the platform of my life, although they appear to be cheaters, deceivers, trouble creators, they are actually my friends because they have helped me to balance out or negate my past karmas. They wash away your sins and weaknesses and make your path clear towards God. See how beautiful, such a small paragraph, just one little page, but how, what a profound depth of what Baba is trying to tell us, that we are only concerned about our responses to life. We are not concerned or accountable or answerable for how others are treating us. That is their karma. We are not, that is between them and their God, whatever it may be. We are concerned with conducting ourselves in a manner, in a spiritually matured manner, so that we continue to remain in a state of equanimity. We continue to remain pure. We continue to remain honesty, no matter what is the onslaught that the life is giving us, because the onslaught can only be the effect or the fruit of the seeds that I have sown in the past. And therefore, I am taking it with all grace and with equanimity. And therefore, Baba says that you are very fortunate because these very deceivers are actually your friends and they are making the pathway of our spiritual progress opened up. Any questions on this? If there is any question, let me
Uh,
know.
yeah, Jai Baba, this is Rakesh.
Jai Baba Rakesh.
So if I'm not being wrong, deceived by anyone, is it concerned? Should I be worried that some of the past impressions are not being negated? Should I consider myself less fortunate?
Okay, so I think I missed out on exactly what you were saying. Can you come again, please? If nobody deceives me, is it that I have got? Okay, can you come again if you don't mind?
Yeah, if I am not being deceived, wronged,
Okay.
or
Yeah, it only
anything.
shows. Yeah, I agree.
Good, lovely life
Yeah,
you,
it only shows that maybe you have not sown those seeds in the past.
or you finished with it,
Or you finish. Yeah,
or you
correct.
learned your lessons and you're treading another cleaner.
All right. All
Yeah.
Right.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So congratulations for that.
Okay, unrelated question, but it's on my mind for a long time.
Bolo.
For any yogi or any advanced spiritual person on higher planes of consciousness, are they able to see across their past lives
Yes, there are quite a few people who can access their past lives. Yes, yes.
at any particular plane
I
or
wouldn't
and
know
above
which
or
particular.
anyone?
I wouldn't know which particular plane, but as one
From
progresses,
fifth onwards, your
I
mind and
don't. I yeah. See
from
the point.
fifth, your mind. So you know.
No, but even otherwise in the energy field also, for example, the fourth planar is all power.
Power. He
So maybe
creates
he may know,
universes.
maybe
Yeah.
he may know. But if you are
All right.
asking me specifically from which plane onwards, I
Yeah.
would say I don't know. I wouldn't know.
All right.
But definitely
All
on
right.
the fifth and the sixth, you do because you are in the mental world. So you can read minds, you can create thoughts, you can transfer all that stuff you can do. Yeah.
Okay.
But
All right.
generally, for
Thank you.
them, it is already dead and gone. The past is gone. They don't really meddle with all these things. I don't know. I don't because I'm not on that plane, so I really cannot answer that. But yes,
No,
for
many
the
people
advanced,
actually have written books and they claim that, they, in the past lives, they were so and like that.
see, the point is, Baba says that there are a few people in whom Baba says inadvertently. Baba is using the word inadvertently the memory of the past life seeps into the present life, and therefore they are in a position to tell something about the past life, but that does not necessarily mean that they are spiritually advanced. No, it's an inadvertence.
Mm.
It is something like an
I
error.
think people who can see across lifetimes, they will be able to do that for anybody, not just for themselves.
Yes, quite possible. Yes, I'm talking that they can do only on a very
Only for
high.
themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe fifth and the
Yeah.
sixth plane. Yes, yes.
All
Rakesh,
right.
Soumya,
Okay.
Soumya
Thank
wants to share
this is
something.
something close to what this is definitely not related. Your question is already answered. There used to
you. Yeah.
be a must at Mehrabad by the name Mohammed the Must, and he Baba
Hmm.
told was a fifth planar. That means he could
Right.
read thoughts. Yeah, but so some people would go, Westerners and Easterners, and he had a attendant, who used to be there. So once one person was telling the attendant, subsequently, oh my god, if I go to before Muhammad the Mast, he will be able to read my thoughts. So that attendant was very nice answer he gave. He said, when you walk and you see poop all around, will you pay attention to the poop? You will not. So he said, all those minds which are coming, they've got a lot of poop. Why would he want to look into? Why?
Right.
Yeah, they will
Yeah.
not. They're not interested. They're so aligned to the glory of God. So in all probability, they will not look at the poop that is around. So just wanted to
Yeah.
share.
Not interested.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Certainly.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah.
So shall we move on to the next chapter?
Meher Daruwala Cyrus, she wants to
Yes,
ask.
yes, go ahead.
Cyrus uncle,
Bolo.
if somebody shows off their sanskaras, does that mean that they have some problem or anything?
I didn't get your question. What is the meaning
If
of
somebody tries to show off their sanskaras out, by getting very angry or something, is it good or bad?
see here we are not talking mere about anything good or bad. What we are talking is Baba's language that somebody is able to control the exhibitionism of their samskaras and somebody are not able to control. And what you said just now, somebody who cannot control their samskaras will blow up and get angry, isn't it? So
Yeah.
that only means that the samskaras are more powerful than those people who are managing the samskaras.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Meher, there in Baba's literature, there is no right and wrong.
We
There are
don't
only
get, we are
consequences.
on this
There's-
platform, we don't got into good and bad. How do I know what
How
is
can
good?
we say
Ah,
that
so
person is meant to do it? And yeah, so there
yes,
are only consequences, no right and wrong.
Roshni wants to say
Okay.
something, I suppose.
Okay.
Yes, Roshni,
Thank you.
unmute your mic, Roshni. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Cyrus, Soumya, Happy New Year to both of
Happy
you.
New Year to you. Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
See, if somebody hurts us or somebody does something wrong to us, is it a basic human nature to retaliate? I mean, that is just without thinking we start retaliating. So then what happens to our sanskara? Are we adding bad sanskaras?
Absolutely. Any reactive action, we are adding to all the samskaras, and that is why, see, basically, when you say it is natural for us to react,
Yes. No,
Baba
it's a
is,
basic human nature. That's what I'm saying.
it is
If
not
anybody
basic.
tries
The
to
point is,
hit you, you immediately will retaliate. No,
I
that's what.
understand.
Yeah.
When such a question was asked of Erach,
Can you
Baba
just loud? I mean, I cannot hear you.
sorry, very sorry. When this question was asked of Erach Jasawala,
Uh-huh.
who is Baba's very close disciple, as we all
Yes,
know,
yes.
he said that we have mistakenly taken all this behavior as a natural behavior.
Okay,
It is
okay.
normal for you to react, but it is not natural for you
Natural.
to react,
Okay, okay.
because naturally we are one.
Mm.
Naturally, our nature is bliss. Naturally, our nature is peace. Naturally, our nature is love. But we have trained our nature wrongly in all these 84 lakhs of reincarnation process, like all through. And therefore, now that which is unnatural, we call it natural, because you got my point.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes,
so it is not natural. It may be normal for you to do that, because
yes.
we have not trained ourselves
Okay.
to look to what is natural within us. So he uses that very beautiful play of words between natural and normal. He
Normal.
says that naturally, see, Baba says, and Baba uses this words to the effect, that all problems, all suffering, all trouble, whatever you want to label them, is because of the ignorance of the true nature of the self. The true nature of the self is love, is
Yes.
peace, is bliss, is goodness, is purity. But because we have through eons, through several lifetimes, we have behaved in such a reactive manner to everything, that now uh, erroneously, foolishly, ignorantly, all these aspects which are non-natural, we call it natural.
Natural.
You got my point?
Yes. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Thank you.
yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just have today there was
Soumya wants to share something.
yeah. Uh, we have our neighbor. They have got a Doberman, a little baby pup who's only 2 months old, and they are so hell bent that this Doberman should be very ferocious, and but the dog is so loving. And they're so angry and upset that this dog is so loving. Anybody who comes at the door, the dog is wagging very friendly. So I was telling Cyrus, aren't we all like that? We're conditioning. We are all conditioned now. The poor dog is being conditioned to be ferocious and bark at people at the door, but the dog is so loving, so
Lovely.
because he's saying that
So what?
normal and
Yeah, what
natural.
she wants to
Yes, yes,
convey
yes.
is,
Understood.
naturally this dog is so
Yes.
loving and wants
Loving.
to
Yeah.
play, but
Yeah.
now we are conditioning him to be
Mm.
ferocious, to be
Yes.
barking, to be running after people, all that. So now, after a few years of this training, it will be construed as natural for that dog to run
Yes.
and bark and all that. So you
Correct.
see how the mind is conditioned that way.
Mm-hmm.
That way.
Oh,
Got it?
thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Cyrus.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you.
much.
All right. Any more questions on this? Or then we move on to the next chapter. Okay.
Suffer most to win bliss. You should look upon physical and mental suffering as gifts.
Jai Baba, sorry, Cyrus and Soumya. Can you all mute all? Can you keep mute all? Everyone, can you
Oh
mute
yes,
the
I think
mics?
some people have not muted them. It
Yeah,
seems.
yeah. Some people are coming and suddenly they are unmuting.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, can you please
So
mute
who's the
everyone?
host? Yeah, let the host please mute everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, Jai Baba.
There are so many mayors and mayras, we are not able to see your face, Mera. Now, which Mera is this? All right, never mind.
Jai Baba.
Okay, Jai
Jai
Baba,
Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba, Jai Baba, Mera. Thank you for drawing our attention. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Jai
sure.
Baba, Jai Baba. Okay, go ahead.
They bring their own lessons of the futility of the passing and for the intrinsic worth of the eternal. Do not get disheartened and alarmed when adversity, calamity.
Sorry, she's reading like an Urdu page. She's going from right to left. So take off late. She has been doing a lot of Urdu translations. So she's.
Sorry, Med
I was
Baba.
just wondering how come we did that earlier. Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry, Med Baba.
Never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Be, be my true messenger. Chapter 58, page
Uh,
58.
okay.
Those who truly love me are my centers in the world. Let each Baba lover, wherever he or she may be a Baba center personified, radiating the eternal message of love divine, living a life of love, sacrifice, and honesty. When you spread my eternal message of love to others, show them first that you really love me. Do not merely make them read my books and messages. Do more. Live such a life of love, sacrifice, forgiveness, and tolerance that others will love me. If instead of doing the real work of love, you start doing organized propaganda work for me, it is absurd. I need no propaganda or publicity. If you cannot live the life of love and honesty, you should stop working for me.
See, this is such a powerful message. And of course, I'll come to the reading. Okay, first I'll go to the reading. Be my true messenger. When each one of us can really become an agent of God's words and God's work. Each one of us can be a center unto himself or herself. We don't need established buildings. Of course, they play their own role. They are very important. But Baba says that any heart that loves Baba is my center. Sorry. Those, those who truly love me are my centers in the world. Let each Baba lover, wherever he or she may be a Baba center personified, radiating the eternal message of love divine, living a life of love, sacrifice, and honesty. Baba keeps saying, I have only one message to give, and I repeat it age after age: love God and become God. How do you love God? Baba has given so many points. We've all done that before, where the document is there how to love God. In practical life, what is expected out of us is to love our fellow being, to love each one as we love our most dear and near ones. When we love our most near and dear ones, all the most important thing what happens when we love somebody is that we only exhibit the good points of the others, and in our mind also all the negative aspects of the other person, it does not erupt at all. So in other words, we love, we are forgiving, we are tolerating, we are understanding, we are not exhibiting the negative side of the other person, but what actually happens in our life, or not all in all, not in all people's life, but in many people's life, is that since we are all a mixture of so-called good and so-called not good, which we call so-called bad, we are out to search what is wrong or what is bad in the other person's life. And if it may be true, it may not be true, we cull out that, and then we spread it and distribute it towards the to others. Do you know so and so? Oh my God, he is like this, she is like this, never trust, da, da, da. Whatever it is. That is totally viparit, totally opposite of what love is. If you love your own wife or your husband or your mother-in-law or your daughter-in-law or your brothers, sisters, children, whatever it is, what do? We tend to forgive, we tend to forget all the hurts and harms, we tend to be tolerant towards their behavior, we tend, we understand that why does a certain person behave in a certain way. We do not exhibit the negative aspects of that person, we only project the good part of that person. That I feel is one of the aspects of love. I'm talking about only human love. So Baba says over here that Baba uses the word life of love, sacrifice, and honesty. When you spread my eternal message of love to others, show them first that you really love me. There is no sense in telling about love of Baba to others when you yourself are not loving Baba deeply and profoundly. I just got a today only I got a WhatsApp WhatsApp joke where wife is sitting over there, the husband is sitting, and wife is facing the camera and saying, let me tell you the secret of a happily married life is, and she's saying something, she's and the husband is saying, you shut up your mouth, you don't interfere in what I'm saying. And then she completes the sentence, is in allowing your husband to speak. So it should not be like that. It shouldn't be like that, because to, the whole purpose is blasted, it. So in other words, you must first show to others that you really love Baba. Baba comes first in everyone and everything that we do. In everything that we do, that is how you show that you really love Baba. Do not merely make them read my books and messages. Do more. Live such a life of love, sacrifice, forgiveness, and tolerance that others will love me. Baba keeps on repeating this, that I do not want you to make propaganda of my work, of my words, of my life. I want you to propagate my life and my work and my words. There is a world of difference between doing propaganda and propagating Baba's words. It is like prachar and prasar. Prachar is all this propaganda, and prasar is that you are actually living such a life that seeing you, people get attracted towards you and wonder, how is it that this person is always happy? How is it that this person is highly spirited? How is it that he is always having a smile? How is it that he never complains? How is it that he never backbites? How is it that he is not slandering anybody? How is it that he is forgiving? He is so tolerant. He is understanding. When people observe all these things within us, automatically they tend to love Baba more, because they know that that is the crux of what is meant by loving Baba. So Baba says, if instead of doing the real work of love, this is all that we said just now, that is the real work of love, living in the moment to moment life, which shows love, tolerance, forgiveness, sacrifice, honesty, purity, all nobility, noble character. So, all these are the attributes of that same one word called love. So, Baba says, if instead of doing the real work of love, you start doing organized propaganda work for me, it is absurd. It is absurd to do any kind of propaganda in Baba's name. You yourself make your life such that you become a living messenger of Baba, of God. I remember, okay, I'll read this and then I'll say, I need no propaganda or publicity. Baba says, I do not need any propaganda or publicity. If you cannot live the life of love and honesty, now this is quite a strong word, Baba says, you should stop working for me. Baba says, if you yourself cannot lead such a life, it is best that you stop working for me. I was reminded of, this is what I shared yesterday also in the forum, where Adi K. Irani, Baba's secretary, very beautifully he says that you should never put the cart before the horse. There's a horse, Tonga, and there is a cart, which is called the carriage or the cart. Only if the horse is put before the cart, it is functional. If the cart is put before the horse, it becomes dysfunctional. It doesn't work. The horse is love. The cart or the carriage is organization. Adi Kaka goes on to say that we establish centers, we have talks, bhashan, lectures, we have film shows, we publish books, we do all kinds of things, activities, organized activities concerning Baba. They are good. They have their own importance. They have their own place in Baba work, but they are considered like the cart or the carriage. And the horse is the love. It should not happen that we are organizing Baba programs simply for the sake of organizing programs. Some center has organized 25 programs. Let me organize 30 programs. Somebody is having twice a week. Let me have it 3 times a week. Somebody talks for 1 hour. So I want to talk for 1.5 hours. When somebody talks, there is a crowd of 1,000 people. Now I want to talk so that there is 1,500 people. So here the emphasis or the focus or is on the organization, is on the cart or the carriage. That should not be. The most important thing is love. And then Adi says the same thing, Baba's words, that if importance is given to the center, to the organizations, to the programs, to the talks, to the film shows, to the publicity, to the publications, and not to love, then that work should stop. The center should stop. In no uncertain terms, he says. Why does he say this? Why does Baba say this? Only to bring home a point that love is the most primary, most important thing in Baba's life. If there is no love and if we are doing anything simply just for the heck of it, just for doing it, then that activity should stop. That is what Adi Kaka said, and he is only reflecting what Baba himself has said, that if you cannot live the life of love and honesty, you should stop working for me. So that is, we still have 6 minutes more to go. If there are any, Soumya, yeah, correct, sorry. Soumya would like to sing. Today is the first day of the 2021, so she wants to awaken you all. She is here to shake us all up, and she's going to sing a song on
Ask
awakening.
any questions again.
Any, sorry, yeah, okay. Any questions on what we did just now? Be my true messenger. That was the chapter's title. Anybody has anything to ask? Nothing.
No, Cyrus, there's no message.
Lovely. Semin, thank you, dear. All right. Now, Soumya, over to Soumya. Okay, go ahead.
Jay Baba, this
Put it on.
the song is written by Madhusudan, and it says Dekh Aya Hai Dwar. I'll give a loose translation of it in English. It says, "Behold, the essence of your life is at your door, waiting with a pot of nectar. Awaken from your slumber, open the door of your mind. O drunk insane, be vigilant about your senses. Why watch with disinterest your commitment? The dawn of life is here. Do not toss and turn any more. Renounce the false dreams. Awake now. Maya is a desolate shrubbery. You take it to be an eternal spring and keep searching for your fine, fragrant garden. Mohan, with his flute, the boundless challenge he has come to make you hear, awaken now. Although injured, you are not prepared to leave this lonely place. Why are you searching for this unique nectar, bumblebee? Mohan himself has taken advent in this Kali Yuga as Meher. Madhusudan, know that your fortune has now opened up.
For those who do not know Madhusudan, he's one of, you can say, a very, uh, how should I say, a very gifted singer. He composed the lyrics, he composed the
So many
tune
songs for
of
Baba.
many songs, and they are very profound, very deep. And Baba has,
Entertained
and he entertained Baba on several occasions. Madhusudan Pund, he was from Pune, and so here Soumya will be singing that song, and we tried to sing in the same tune in which Baba had heard from Madhusudan and so many other singers.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
देख आया है द्वार तेरे जीवन का सार लेके अमृत कलश वो खड़ा है जाग रे सोने वाले खोल तेरे मन के दुआर बावरे खोल तेरे मन के दुआर खोल तेरे मन के दुआर बावरे खोल तेरे मन के दुआर ओ मत वाले बावरे होश अब संभाल रे मत वाले बावरे होश अब संभाल रे नीरस में देखता क्या चावरे आ, आ, आई जीवन की भोर लेना करवट अब और आई जीवन की भोर लेना करवट अब और छोड़ सपने वे झूठे अब जाग रे छोड़ सपने वे झूठे अब जाग रे बावरे खोल तेरे मन के दुआर बावरे खोल तेरे मन के दुआर खोल तेरे मन के दुआर बावरे खोल तेरे मन के दुआर माया तो उजड़ा बन तू समझा है मधुबन माया तो उजड़ा बन तू समझा है मधुबन ढूंढत हो महकी फुलवारी रे आ, आ, मोहन ले बांसुरी अनहद की ललकारी मोहन ले बांसुरी अनहद की ललकारी तुझको सुनाया आज जागरे तुझको सुनाने आया जागरे बावरे खोल तेरे मन के दुआर बावरे खोल तेरे मन के दुआर खोल तेरे मन के द्वार, बावरे खोल तेरे मन के द्वार। घायल भी हो कि नहीं छोड़त बन निर्जन ही, घायल भी हो कि नहीं छोड़त बन निर्जन ही, रस अनूठा ढूंढ रहा क्यों भवरे। आ, आ, मोहन ही मेहर बन के अवतारे कल जुग के, मोहन ही मेहर बन के अवतारे कल जुग के, मधुसूदन देख खुले भाग रे, मधुसूदन देख खुले भाग रे, बावरे खोल तेरे मन के द्वार, बावरे खोल तेरे मन के द्वार। देख आया है द्वार तेरे जीवन का सार, लेके अमृत कलश वो खड़ा है। जाग रे सोने वाले, खोल तेरे मन के द्वार, बावरे खोल तेरे मन के द्वार।
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
Thank you, Baba.
Jai Baba. Thank you, Baba, for everything. And let us hope and pray that we heed Baba's advice and live such a life to be a shining example of Baba's centers all over the world. And as Soumya said, let us open the dwar of our man
Yeah.
and
Let us
invite
get
Baba
reaching
and
connector.
invite Baba into our life.
Jai Baba.
So once again, wishing you all a very, very Baba-full 2021, and let us all meet together now on Tuesday. Okay.
Jai
Thank you
Baba.
very much. Jai Baba. Avtar Meher Baba ki
Baba
jai.
ki jai.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank
very good.
you. That was
Jai
so
Baba.
Thank
beautiful.
you, Baba.
Very good.
Thank you, Kunda. Thank you.
Jai
Thank you,
Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all of you. Happy New Year.
Baba ne given.
Happy New
Jai,
Year.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, everybody.
Jai Baba.
Happy New
Jai
Year,
Baba.
everybody.
Baba Rakesh.